Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a huge cleaning and reorganizing of my guinea pig room. So I actually need to redo a couple of my cages, as well as do full cage cleans for everyone, and organize my closet, which is a huge mess. So I've got a lot of cleaning to get here done today. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys like a before look at what the room looks like. Everyone is really loud right now because they think it is veggie time, but it is not veggie time because I have to clean all the cages first. But we're gonna be cleaning the boys' cages down here, and then for my girls who are in this L shape, I'm actually going to be sort of redoing these cages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Honey and Sage's 2x5 and I'm going to extend it 2 grids this way to make it a 2x7, and then I will be putting Stardust in a 2x3 of that, and then Honey and Sage will have a 2x4. So Honey and Sage will lose 1 grid of space, but it's just temporary until Stardust finishes the start of her medication, and then she will be bonded with them. And then I'm going to be putting my trio also in a 2x7. So they will get a bit of their space back that they lost to Stardust. So they're going to get a 2x7 here for my trio, and then a 2x7 here, split in half, or like split a little bit less than half, for Stardust, and then Honey and Sage. So I have to sort of redo the L here to make sure that my trio has enough space, because I had to give them this little bit of space here in order to give Stardust enough space, and I just don't think it's enough space for the 3 of them. They definitely like to spread out. They don't really like to be up in each other's space, so I'd like to give them a little bit more space, and then Honey and Sage will downgrade to a 2x4 temporarily, which is fine because they don't really care about being up close and laying next to each other, where my trio, whoa, you guys are not getting fed yet. It's not time yet. But anyway, that's the plan for the cages. And then I have to clean my closet. This is all dirty laundry here, and this whole thing is just a huge mess. So today is just going to be cleaning cages, redoing cages, and fixing this up. Alright, so it's literally like 10 p.m. right now, but I finished shortening the trio's cage. So it is a little bit shy of a 2x7 because I had to overlap 3 squares here in order to make these fit. You see it's literally barely going to fit here, so I had to shorten this by 3 squares, but it still works. It's about, I think, 16 or 17 square feet. I will put it on the screen how many square feet this cage is, but I made them this huge litter box area over here with some leftover coroplast that I had, and I'm really happy that I was able to do that because I've been meaning to make a like huge litter box area for a long time now. So I have the huge litter box area, and then it's a pretty decent size. I wish, obviously, I could make it bigger, but there's just not more room on the tables. Like this is as best I can do. And it's more than what they had when it was split with Stardust. So this cage is all done, and now it is time to finish this one. So here is a 2x5, and then I built this 2x2 extension over here. So just like this, and I'm just going to take off these grids and just combine these 2 cages, so it'll be super easy. I did like mess up with the math a couple times when I was trying to make this, but I finally got it right. And then obviously this will be pretty easy to combine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take them out of here, put them in the playpen, and then we will be combining these 2. Alright everyone, so I finished building this 2x7 and then adding the divider. Obviously I still need to add like in their hay box back and then give Stardust her water bottle as well. The cage itself is done. I did realize honestly that I could have made it a 2x8 because I have like a little bit of space here and a little bit of space between the wall. So I think it could have been possible, and kind of regretting now that I didn't make it a 2x8 because then Honey and Sage could have kept their 2x5, but I don't have enough coroplast to reach, and also I can hardly reach here. I don't know how I would have reached that very back corner, probably with a step stool. So I don't know, I kind of want to get more coroplast to make it a 2x8, but then it's like I just did all this work only to do it again, but I kind of want it to be a 2x8 for them so that Honey and Sage could have their 2x5 back. But for now, 2x4 and 2x3, and maybe next week I'll go out and fix it to the way I want it to be. But I ran out of coroplast, so this is what it's going to be for now. But this is where I'm going to leave you guys for tonight. I'm going to obviously finish up cleaning their cages, giving them their toys, their hay, their food, all their stuff back. But I'm tired. It's like 11 p.m. The floor is a mess, but I will be back tomorrow to continue cleaning. Alright everyone, so it is actually the very next day, and I have decided to expand the 2x7 to a 2x8. I know I literally just did cage changes yesterday, but seeing that I had the space to make it a 2x8, I felt like I should just go ahead and take the opportunity. So what I'll be doing is pretty simple. I'm just going to be pushing this 2x7 here back so it touches that wall. And then I will have enough space right here once it's pushed back for one more grid. And I bought another piece of coroplast from Home Depot today. So I bought this piece of coroplast here. This is only 2x3 feet. So it's a pretty small piece, and it's not going to make the extension perfect, but it will be enough to extend the cage by just one more grid. I didn't want to have to spend a whole bunch of money on another huge sheet, so I just bought a tiny one. It will work for a 1 grid extension. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly build the extension piece, and then I'll move the girls out of the cage real quick and add it on. All right, so I quickly just whipped up this little extension piece, very similar to the way that I made the other extension. And I'm just going to sort of add it onto the end over there, and then I will have the cages done finally, and we can get to cleaning this huge mess. All right, so I have done it. I have added the extension. As you guys could probably see, I was struggling very heavily to add this extension because I was basically building it on like the air. Like half of this grid is just floating on the air. And because I was sort of just building it on the air because I didn't want to take the whole cage off and put it on the ground, because honestly, I don't have any room to do that in my apartment. So it kind of dips down a little bit. Like you can see here, this is where it would go straight and it kind of dips down a little bit, but it's very minor. You can feel it a little bit in this corner, but obviously like it's only half a grid that is off the table. Like literally, I want to say it's like maybe like 6 to 8 inches there that's not on the table. So it's definitely like not going to go anywhere, especially considering it's the coroplast is zip tied to the grids and the grid is obviously not coming off the table. So I'm glad that I made this work. I'm sad that I didn't figure it out earlier that I could have went ahead and fit a 2x5 and a 2x3 here, because now the coroplast looks honestly really wonky, but that's where the litter box goes. So that should sort of hide all the wonkiness that is happening right there with the duct tape. But I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back in this area and then they can have their 2x5 back. So I'm really happy it all worked out. Then obviously eventually when Stardust is bonded with them, they will have this huge 2x8 for all 3 of them. Alright, so it is now, yet again, 11 p.m., but I have finished everything that I wanted to accomplish today. I was able to extend the girls' cage once again so they could have their 2x5 back. I also did full cage cleans for both the boys down here, and obviously the biggest improvement was that I cleaned up the floor. I still have to finish vacuuming tomorrow, as well as put all of this away in the closet. Speaking of the closet, it still needs work, so that will be tomorrow's project, is working on the closet and finishing up the floor. But I am very satisfied with the cage changes that they're finished and everyone is nice and clean. This is where I'm going to end for tonight. All right, everyone, welcome back. It is actually a couple days later and it is time to finish cleaning this room because I want to give you guys like a full-on room tour at the end of this video, and it needs to be cleaner than it is right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the floor, which looks about the same as it did a couple days ago. Some hay on the floor needs to be vacuumed. And then I want to build another storage organizer for my closet and then hopefully organize more of my fleece hides and fleeces in the closet so it can be less of a train wreck in there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the floor and then we'll move on to the organizer and the closet. everyone, I think it is time for a tour of the guinea pig room. Everything is finished, everything is clean, and I am super pleased with the way that the cages came out and the upgrades that I was able to make. So obviously, first we have my desk, and then right beside my desk we have the trios cage. I am really happy with this litter box area that I made. While it does take up like a huge portion of their cage, they love spending time in their hay piles. They love sleeping over there. So I think it was really a good addition. And as you can see, I put this little mat here to make it dark under here. It's a little bit messy, but it does the job and they really like it. And then they have the rest of their space here. And then I'm so pleased that I was able to fit an entire 2x8 right here. I was not expecting to be able to fit a 2x8, so I'm really happy that I was able to do that. That means Stardust got enough room without having to sacrifice any of Honey and Sage's room, and the trio got some of their space back. So it worked out really well, even if it does mean that my entrance to my closet is like just enough for me to walk through. But like I said, it works. It's not really that much of a hassle or anything. It's pretty easy to walk in. And then obviously, of course, we have both of the boys' cages down here. This is some storage. There's some hay in the very back corner there. Then this is all a bunch of dirty laundry. And then we have a bunch of random stuff stored here. Bath mat, some hides. This is Cinnamon's litter box because he just got neutered yesterday. So I just put hay flat on the ground for him to make it a little bit easier. So that's his litter box right there. And then over here is sort of the main station. We've got Oxbows treats. We've got my health kit here, forages, pellets, my Starbucks drink that I finished, some random bits and bobs here. This is where I normally store my bath mats, but they're all dirty because it's laundry day tomorrow. And then some hides and more bits and bobs down here, trash can, hay bin, huge box of hay. This is my 50-pound box of oxbow hay. This is actually orchard grass right here. And then here we have absorbing layers for under my fleece. We've got U-Haul, puppy pads, and then here we've got small pea pads. And this is where my larger pea pads go. But again, it's laundry day, so I don't have any in there. And then this is 2 containers of dirty laundry. This is my shop vac, which is broken, which is why I had to use my hand vac for the floor. So that's just sort of sitting there until I figure out what I'm doing, get a new one, get it fixed, something like that. Bedding, more random miscellaneous bits and bobs. And then the biggest improvement, obviously, right here is this storage organizer, which is holding the majority of my hides. It is so much nicer to see them like on display instead of just piled up right here. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. And then up top, we've got a bunch of random stuff. Food, extra litter box, I don't even know what's in there. All my crates, and then my clothes, as you can see, are also in this closet. I think the issue is that I just have more guinea pig stuff than I have space. So I'm just continuously trying to make more room, and there is not more room. I need to get rid of stuff, I think, but for the moment, we've definitely made it work. And then right there is where I store my shop vac. I don't even know what else is in here. This is where I like charge my battery for my camera, but that is pretty much it for the room tour. I'm so happy that everyone has more space, and I'm so happy that I was able to finally get my closet organized. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to see more of my content. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.